Slusha, hey, Dubuckers, how the heck are you? I am John the Beer and Whiskey Whisperer for the purposes of this video. Anyways, it's the first video of the day. I thought, oh, what the hell? It's a Sunday afternoon. It's still overcast. Kind of wanted to get out later this afternoon, but that's when they're projecting all the storms to come in, so that would kind of be a bummer. So I'll just stay in. Let's see, let me get something fixed real fast. Just that, just slightly. There we go. And I think we're back in business. Anyways, again, how the heck are you? I am Tom the Beer and Whiskey Whisperer for the purposes of this video. Actually, I'm not the Whiskey Whisperer. I'm not using whiskey, but I'm using vodka for this particular. I want to do a shot per se, but so, and I'll explain that to you a little bit. We'll put that down there. There's a reason why I use the vodka instead of the whiskey, partly because I don't have a tequila on hand. I probably need to get one, but kind of dragging my feet there. So I've got the having the oh shit, I grabbed the wrong one. Never mind. Oh, there it is. I grabbed the yeah. I've got the El Sully Mexican lager, 4.8%. That's everything you want in a Mexican lager. I decided to add the lime edges. I'm gonna put some salt in there as well. Sláinte. Oh. Damn, that's good. Anyways, I digress. So the shot, let me explain that one to you. So I was looking over several different things. I was originally going to do an old-fashioned-ish kind of cocktail, then everything just sort of shifted where I was trying to put together the Mexican lager and an appropriate shot. So I have some coconut lime, simple syrup, but I don't have a tequila on hand, which is why I used a very good vodka, the Duffy's Run vodka from Restless Spirits. It's a 90 proof vodka, and in my opinion, there's not a better one on the market. Restless Spirits is just doing some amazing products. I'm going to pour myself the shot here. That's a combination of the vodka, lime juice, or the lime coconut simple syrup, rather, a lime and some fresh mint and some mint bitters. That's why it's got that slight green hue to it from the mint bitters. Sláinte. Oh, that's tasty. That's really tasty. I like it. That's damn good, man. I don't care who you are. That's tasty. Anyway, anyways, lunch. Well, as fate would have it, I brought two El Sullys up here with me, so I'm going to have one more. I'm not doing Mexican food tonight. You think I'd be fixing Mexican food, but I'm not. I do fix Mexican food quite often, as anybody that knows me knows. Do love Mexican food, but I like more of the traditional or pleasant Mexican food, if you will, because I don't like the trendy shit. That's the problem with a lot of the restaurants. They either go so far not authentic that they go 180 degrees the other way. They go all this to this nouveau cuisine instead of doing the classics that everybody loves Mexican food for. So when I make Mexican food at home, yeah, it's traditional. It's enchiladas. However, I will admit, since living in Las Cruces, I do love the flat enchilada, but I also love enchiladas montadas, the chilaquiles. Man, I love the stuff I grew up with in California, which is more Baja based. But boy, the stuff I learned in Las Cruces and in El Paso, man, I love those tricks. This is a different way of doing things. For whatever reason, chilaquiles really wasn't big in California. I didn't have them until I had moved to El Paso, and I was like, "Oh my god, this thing is genius!" But the problem is, there are some restaurants that make chilaquiles out here, but they don't make them right. Right? They use chips and they just pour sauce over the top. Sometimes they'll throw some chicken on there. Look, it's chilaquiles. No, it's not. Unless you simmer the chips or tortillas in sauce, you got to simmer them. You just can't pour the sauce over and say, "Look, it's done." When I make them at home, yeah, they simmer for a minimum of 30 minutes, man. And then you put that egg on top, drizzle a little more sauce, and then you got something. Now, when I was in Cruces, they typically only made them with the green sauce because they're really known for the Hatch chilies out there, which is a somewhat mild chili. It's basically a version of an Anaheim pepper, but a lot of them have just a little more flavor than your typical Anaheim. Anyways, so out there, yeah, the flat enchilada montadas with the green sauce. It wasn't until I came back home that I had places serve it with it. Or I had one place serve it with a red sauce, which I didn't like, but I do love that green sauce. I do, the green sauce and but enchiladas montadas, chilaquiles with the egg. But I mean, it just drives me crazy that people call it chilaquiles. Chips with sauce over the top isn't chilaquiles. It's just not. You got to simmer those chips. They got to break down. They have to soak up that sauce. If they haven't soaked up that sauce, it's not chilaquiles. Now, the very first time I had it was at a restaurant in El Paso called Leo's. Leo's was sort of known among locals as kind of a hit and miss. However, and I say that is because most of the Hispanics thought it was great. Most of the white people didn't. So I tended to. So, but it was the first time I had chilaquiles. It was their special that day, and I asked about it. And so how they made theirs though is that they took the leftover cheese enchiladas and soaked them in the sauce. Now, so that's how I like to make them when I make them at home, is that I basically take some corn tortillas, I melt some cheese on either side, and then I put them off to the side, and then I cut them into strips, and then, cut them smaller, and then soak them in that sauce. So you got that. So I already have the cheese in there, right? I've already got the cheese. What cheese am I using? Well, I might be using the Chihuahua cheese, but I really love to use queso fresco when I can find it out here, and or cotija. I like to use the queso fresco inside the tortillas, and I like to sprinkle with the cotija outside, and then top with the egg. But again, the cheese is really up to you. The cheese really is about preference. There's so many great cheese out there, but I really love that queso fresco crumbling cheese, and then the cotija on top, man. So I had enough in here for another shot here, which is why I decided to have one more beer. Let me pour that in there. There we go. That'll get about all of it. Got those the mint bitters are green, makes it look green, man. Anyway. Sláinte. Put a little salt on that beer. Mexican beer is the only thing I do that to. Tom, why are you doing that? That's kind of, again, something I grew up doing from my youngest age of drinking a Mexican style beer, I guess I should say, so this isn't a Mexican beer. But the El Silly does everything it's supposed to do anyway. I am Tom, the Whiskey Whisperer, Whiskey Evangelist, beloved whiskey drinker, purveyor of wisdom, and oh man, that's good. I'm also Tom, the Beer Whisperer. Beer whisperer, beer evangelist. Oh, excuse me. You can get all of the beer in here. Let me pour the rest of it in. Ooh, look at that. Look how, oh, see, that would have been the perfect picture right there, that pour. That looks good, Tom. Yeah, I wish I had a picture of just that. That's just brilliant right there. Anyways, put a little more salt on top. I am Tom the Beer Whisperer, beer evangelist, prolific beer drinker, per beer whistle man. Boy, that's beautiful. All right, good guys. Thanks for tuning in, guys.